It looks like Fabien Galthié just can't get enough of Rassie Erasmus's tactics. At least that's what former Springboks head coach Nick Mallett believes. After France deployed the controversial 7-1 bench split against Italy and crushed them 73-24, Mallett is convinced that Galthié is taking a page straight from Erasmus's book, and not just when it comes to the bench strategy. Mallett, speaking on the Box Office podcast, didn't mince his words about the France boss borrowing heavily from the Springboks playbook. I think he really loves what he sees Rassie doing. While some doubt that Galthié will use the 7-1 split again, especially in their upcoming Six Nations clash against Ireland, Mallett believes this was more than just a one-off experiment. He was just seeing how it worked and having a bash, Mallett suggested, implying that Galthié is testing the strategy before pulling it out in bigger matches. And according to the former Bok boss, it's not just the forward-heavy bench that France has copied. They've adopted several key elements of Erasmus's game plan. He's copied him a lot with his kicking game, he's copied him a lot with the defense, with this out-to-in defensive system that they've used on a few occasions. Mallett also called out the hypocrisy of how the rugby world reacted to the Springboks using the 7-1 split, compared to how France is now being praised for doing the exact same thing. Most importantly, the bench is very unusual. People would complain about us doing it, and suddenly France do it. Mallett's podcast co-host, Jean de Villiers, isn't convinced that France will continue with the 7-1 split, especially against Ireland. I can't see them going 7-1 again, de Villiers admitted. However, he did acknowledge that Les Bleus have the perfect personnel for this approach. With Antoine Dupont and Thomas Ramos rarely subbed off and a physically dominant pack, the strategy makes sense. If you analyze it, they never take Dupont off, and Ramos the same. If you're not going to go with Jalibert, then the 7-1 could actually make sense, de Villiers explained. He also pointed out that if a team commits to the 7-1 split, they need to fully utilize it, something teams often fail to do. The effect of the 7-1 split is if you're utilizing it. So many times guys go 6-2 split, but then they don't utilize it. They bring a forward on in the 70th minute. So, is France just following the natural evolution of the game, or are they simply copying Erasmus after criticizing him? The hypocrisy isn't lost on many Springbok fans, who remember the backlash South Africa faced when they first introduced this power-heavy bench strategy. Now that France is doing it, is it suddenly a stroke of tactical genius? What do you think? Is Galthié truly innovating, or is he just following Erasmus's blueprint? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for the latest rugby debates.